Hello, hello, hello. Alright, so we're still somewhat stuck on this bit here. So if I can help myself feel a little bit better, if I run my tests, you'll see everything passes except for number 9. And that's because, for whatever reason, it seems if I if I put in any of the numbers that exist in my Romance digits array, so for instance 1000, I get this uncaught type error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading numeral. And if you see, here's the input 1000, so I've put in some console logs to help me to help me uh, to help me decipher what's going on. When I click the button, I can either go into the existing digit index, which I'm hoping I'd wanted for this to be my base case. So I can either go into here, which it finds an existing digit, it finds the index, and then it adds the number to the 10th Roman numeral, or it it goes through, does a recursive thing, calls it again with the input minus the value to then calculate it, blah, 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 blah. But any of the numbers that actually do exist, so for instance, 1001 will convert. MI, nice. But 1000 doesn't, which is crazy. So, for instance, what's it doing? 1001 goes in. The numeral index is 0, so it goes in 1001 decimal to Roman. So when I click the button, when I click the convert button, I'm doing all of these checks for. Sorry, I'm scrolling around. I'm doing all of these checks. Is it a valid number? Is it greater than or equal to 1? Sorry, yeah. And then please enter a number that's less than 4,000, because that's the limit on what you can write with sort of the standard Roman numeral text. So I do, when I click the convert button, I first log. Here's the input, just to check what's actually going in. I then do the call decimal to Roman. That comes in, and I check initially to see, is this a value that already exists in my Roman digits array? So I'm going in, I'm saying, is there an element in the array that actually does exist? So e value is equal to input. If it does, this resolves to true. And so I'm then going to this conditional. I find the existing digits of that index, and I use that. I then console log that, and I use that to determine the 10th Roman numeral. Now, if I put in 1000, I'd expect it will come in here. It'll say yes, this is true. It already exists. Let's that. It'll find it. It's the index at 0. So 10th Roman numeral is an empty string plus m, and it should be fine. But I get this. Here I do it when I do 1001, goes in. There's no existing value for it, so it goes into the else, which is fine. I get a numeral index. The first numeral, the first value that is less than that one is 1000, so it picks that one. I then so just for context, that's my Roman digits array. So first one is 1000. and then that's 0 because the first element. I'll then log that, come in here, I'll add that to temporal numeral. So that was M, and then return input minus that. So then what's happening here is I'm calling decimal to Roman again on 1. Now when I go into 1, it does exist, and if you go there, you'll see it's the last one, which is my 13th element. So its index is 12, and then it sets the numeral to that. It concatenates that, and then I get MI. So that first if is being observed when it's gone through it once, which is what's throwing me off. Because I feel like if it's, when it comes in, it checks that first. So why is it? Yeah. Anyway, yesterday I used what's it called? I used Gemini, which is Google's AI. Today I'm going to try and figure this out, and I'm actually going to try and ask one of the devs at my workplace or one of my mates that's a dev to try and help me with this. But I'm actually going to try and use another AI called Claude, which apparently is a little bit better for programming stuff anyway. We're about to find out, because I've tried looking online for some idea on this, and I think I'm even going to take a course on recursion, like just like an hour course, to see if I can figure this out. And Claude AI is being long. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Okay, let's continue with Google. I don't know, does that matter? Maybe it does. Yeah, the whole world's for my email address. Yeah, I don't think it's fine. I don't think it's... Anyway, so I'm going to literally copy this. You might be able to hear my lovely wife in the background singing with my daughter. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with Gemini and see if this gives like a bit of a better response. So you are a senior JavaScript developer. Review the following code and identify why an input of 9 or 1,000 doesn't correctly convert to a Roman numeral. But an input of 8 or